Okay, we're back. I thought I started it, but I didn't. That's why it wasn't working. So I'm going to get the new link. And hopefully it works this time. All right, let's hope it. Let's hope third time's the charm. So far, it seems like it's working. Although I haven't done anything yet, so. Or is it? It is. It does look like it's being a little finicky. Or maybe it's not. Okay, so the game should have saved. Yes, it did. So now we can sim. We use our Detroit, right? We'll start with Detroit. Okay, it seems like we're fine, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at the results here for Week 6. We'll start with the Monarchs. Yay, they lost. My draft pick gets better. They lose to the Dreadnoughts, 35-37, with a game-winning safety in overtime. Okay. Can't say I've ever seen that one before. Jalen Hurts played very well. Cocky was fine. David Montgomery scored 3 times. Juju with a big game as well. And then the real question is, who had the safety? Mike Oxmall had an interception, and Hunter Roof, both user players. No, not fumble forces. I want safety. Quay Walker was the one with the game winner. It was not a sack, but it was obviously a tackle for loss. The Nighthawks lose to the Rams. They are now 1-5. The Rams really needed a win, and they get one. Dak Prescott was really good. C.J. Stroud was really not good. It seems like the stream is working so far. Russell Douglas, 2 interceptions. The Oilers beat the Colts 31-28. Isaiah Thomas played well. Kirk Cousins was... Wait, who won? The Oilers won? The Oilers won. That's what I thought. Jonathan Taylor and Kenneth Walker were both quite good. And Emeka Ibuka and Romeo Dubs were as well. Yeah, the stream probably would have bugged now. So I think we're good. Jelani Salami even had an interception. Maybe we're not good. The Orbits beat the Niners 42-17. The Orbits had to get a win, so they're now 2-4. Travis Flight did not play very well. He was picked off 3 times. Scooby Williams, though, with a sack and a pick. Good for him. Good for Scoobs. The Panthers are now 0-6. They lose 17-7. Ouch. Stet and Quinn Ewers were both blah. Travis Flight, truly on the Octi connection. Clearly. New England loses to Seattle. Nice win for the Seahawks. Patrick Mahomes outplayed Josh Allen. The Raiders have won 3 of 4. They beat the Broncos 28-20. Hector Estrada V with a perfect passer rating. Trey Lance was the game's leading rusher. Marvin Harrison Jr. doing Marvin Harrison things. Why is Gus getting more snaps? I don't know. Justin Taylor is a starter. So I can make him the third down running back, but he probably should be already, wouldn't he? The Steamers lose to the Eagles 27-19. Bryce Young played very well. DJ Uiagalelei was very mid. Not exactly DJ from last year so far. Remember, the game reset my depth chart. Yeah, but it should have been fixed, right? We can check. If not, I can move Justin Taylor where he belongs. The Steelers lose to the Commanders. Thank you, Washington, for helping out our division race. Both teams who played in the AFC South lost, and the Ravens had a bye week. So if we win again, we could put ourselves in a really good spot. Although the Chargers are no slouch, so that is far from a guarantee. Texans had a bye week, as did the Titans. The Vikings lose to the Explorers. They just traded their first-round pick away to the Orbits. Good week for the Orbits. They won and Minnesota lost. Mercy Mercado was pretty good. Tua Tagovailoa was fine. He wasn't bad. Zach Ertz had himself a day. All right, moment of truth. Show me another W. Okay, 35-32. I'll take it. Maybe we finally got a takeaway today. No. Well, we didn't get an interception at least. But Corral was sacked 0 times. The offensive line has been so much better this year than it was last year. It's literally the Quentin Nelson effect. We trade him and our offensive line's great. It's so weird. But I'll take it. Stephon Diggs played very well. Where's J-Mo? He might have had the under on Jamison Williams yards. That would explain something. Still no takeaway. Chase Young, 3 sacks, but still no takeaways. It's been 6 weeks, guys. I get that we're 5-1, but at some point you got to start forcing some turnovers. Although the fact that we're 5-1 without turnovers is insanely impressive. There's only one record better than 5-1, and that's 6-0. That's where the Bills are right now. They beat the Jets 37-29. Both QBs played well. Shout out to Drake May. He performed. JoJo Early also performed. Hello. 184. Okay. Did that say 4? 4 sacks from Wyatt Millum. That's what happens when you start like 65 overall offensive linemen. Aiden Hutchinson with most of the damage. He had 2.5. Von Miller with 2. The Broncos lost. The Chargers lost. The Colts lost. The Commies won. The Cougars are starting to turn it around a little bit. They beat the Desperados. I think the Austin Red Hot start might have been a mirage. It seems like they're coming back down to earth. A lot of interceptions in this game. JMO bet on the Jets covering. We're throwing a party. Hopefully not too fun of a party. JMO's got to get ready for week 7. Yeah, we are live. It is fixed now. But we're back. Who do we have next? We went through like pretty much everybody. Okay, that's everybody. All right. I definitely did not get my phone taken by the school. How can like the school take away your own property? That's like weird. I've never understood that. Players of the week: Jalen Hurts, Drake May, Josie Jewell, and Cameron Dantzler. Make sure Connor McGovern is at left tackle. Okay, I can fix that if the game didn't do that. Here's the standings update. The Bengals are looking pretty darn good in the AFC North. It seems like we're the only good team here, so that's nice. Once you bring it into school, it's their property. Yeah, but how is that like allowed? How can they like claim your property? The Bills are 6-0. They're the only ones, right? Yep. And then Portland and Carolina are the only teams without a win. Did I show the Orbits? The Orbits won, so you guys are now 2-4. And just to make sure everybody's stuff is where it should be, why are those two still starting? Did Madden do it again? How could that happen? How does the game like keep like doing that? Why is this game so glitchy with the depth charts? There's like no consistency on like what works and what doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Who's the rookie corner? Are you referring to Sean Taylor? Because he technically is starting. He's CB3. Golden Eagles. Let's make sure they're running. Oh, slot corner. I'll go back. Why is Gus higher than our boy Justin? And then third down back. Okay, he's already there. Can I move Josh Uche to corner? I don't think he can really play corner. I don't know why you would want me to do that. Okay, slot corner is the rookie, or not the rookie, Sean Taylor, the second-year guy. And then the Chargers. Maybe Mr. Sorey can finally play. I've tried to fix it like 5 times, it feels like. Was it right outside? Here, let me check, just so we get it right, and just so Madden doesn't pull a fast one on us again. Because I know it will. Yes, right outside linebacker. EA should be very sorry for this. I agree. Is EA sorry, though? I doubt it. Okay, now he finally can play. Why did it like keep taking him out? Okay, hopefully it stays. Will it stay, EA? I don't know. Does it like go back with injuries too? I haven't really figured that out yet. I know it does with roster transactions, but I don't know if it does with injuries. So that could always be like a reason why. Which if that's the case, that's kind of annoying. All right, week 7, we've got the Texans and the Titans. Oh, you want CJ to be the... Okay, I got it mixed up what you said. Okay, now we're going to be good. There we go. Okay, perfect. And you want Sean starting as in like CB3 or one of the higher ones? It looked like the stream glitched again for a second. Did I like just see that wrong or did it actually glitch? I think it actually like kind of did, but it only did once. So we can like we can try to keep going. We'll see what happens. Siri, give me a number between 282 and 283.
On it.
Are you going to answer my questions here? What are you doing?
Something went wrong.
Something went wrong.
Let's try again.
Okay. Siri, give me a number between 282 and 283.
One moment.
It's just a simple question, Siri. I'll ask a different device. How about that? Siri, give me a number between 282 and... What the heck? For the love of God, Siri, give me a number between 282 and 283. Is Siri, like, not working?
Here is what I found.
That's not what I want. I'm going to ask one more time. Give me a number between 282 and 283.
On it.
It's not going to work, is it?
The answer is
Oh, there we go.
283.
283. It only took us 5 times. Finally. All right, we're going to use it for the Titans. That was much more of a process than it needed to be. Okay. Yeah, I think the other controller died, so let's try to pick the jerseys quickly before it inevitably dies again. As for the Titans, I don't think Deuce is here, so what do we want to rock with for them? Aki's internet connection is getting to Siri, clearly. Simcast... Echo. Oh, boy. Simcast Oilers Jets Just Cause. Just Cause why? What do we want for the Titans? We can do white, we can do light blue, we can do dark blue, we can do the older ones with like the white helmets, or we can do Oilers. Although we already have an Oilers team in this league, so that'd be kind of weird if we had them wear Oiler jerseys. Imagine like the Jets show up on the field, but they're wearing Buffalo Bills jerseys. Red helmets, so that's the alternate. Color Rush alternate jersey. Alternate pants. And alternate socks. So these actually kind of go hard. I can't even lie. Those are cool. Do we have any specific choices for the Titans? Going once, going twice, blue, white, light blue, old, Oilers? And change your playbook. Did I think I did that. Like, did you put? If you didn't put it in the playbook thing, then I didn't do it. I know you mentioned it prior to the stream, so like I can do it. Yeah, you put it in before we started, so I did fix it to Chicago. So now it's on Chicago. So your playbook's good. Light blue. Any objections against light blue? I believe that's the alternate. Yeah. They have light blue pants in here, don't they? Yeah. Anything against light blue? Going once, going twice? All right, light blue it is. So we are now into week 7. We've got two of the best teams in the AFC. One we kind of saw coming with the Houston Texans, who were a horrible call away from making the OFL Bowl, facing off against one of the bigger surprises of the league this year, the 4-1 Tennessee Titans, led by quarterback Justin Herbert. It seems like the Justin Herbert trade's honestly been kind of a win-win. The Chargers have gotten a lot better, as have the Titans, so it's really worked out for both teams. Have a Derrick Henry blue jersey. We better get a green one, too. If that ends up being true. Which would be scary if it is, I'll tell you that. All right, here come the Texans, led by Lamar Jackson and the rest of the offense, including, of course, running back number 34, Sean Tucker, who will be pleased to run for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I got to manifest that into existence. I don't care who wins, but I want to see Sean Tucker do good. I should be rooting for both of these teams to lose because, like, they're both kind of a threat to our seeding. So both of them losing would be helpful. Is it glitching? Is it? It seems fine. If it does start glitching, we already started the game. So, like, I don't know what we would do. But let's hope we don't have any issues. There goes Sean Tucker. Hello. He gets 14. There's a start. I wonder where he's going to be this time next week. I don't think I'd be too upset if he was in the Allen Park facility this time next week. I'll say that. If we draft him, I would literally buy a jersey the second it's on the team store. I don't care how much it costs. I would get that so quickly. Are we heading to a Bengals-Raiders AFC Championship? That would imply the Bengals make it out of the first round, which over the last couple of years, the answer has been a big no. So, if Levis is on the board for the Buccaneers' first-round pick, do you think that'd be a good pick? Yeah, but the thing is, he won't be on the board. Because he might go at 2. But if he was on the board, then I'd be all for it. So Raiders, Bengals, I mean, I guess based on where we got last year, technically. He does put mayo in his coffee, but that doesn't bother the Texans, apparently. Houston appears to be moving it. I saw a Photoshop of Will Levis in a Texans jersey today, and it just didn't look right. I just can't, like, picture it happening. It just, like, it looks wrong. Are there any... Probably no one who's better than Baker at this point. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is better than Baker. Is he? I would say no. I don't like Will Levis in any way. What did he do to you? Like, Levis in a Colts jersey, I can see that. But I just can't see him in a Texans jersey. It just didn't look right. Probably has an empty well in his basement that he keeps some lady in. Maybe he does, and that still would not scare the Texans from picking him number 2. Is Amari Cooper gets the touchdown, and the Texans are on the board. Will Levis just looks like a Denver Bronco. You think he looks like a Denver Bronco? Tanner McKee is like the prototype John Elway quarterback. He's big, he's got a decent arm, he's accurate, and he provides nothing else. Welcome to the Broncos, Tanner. If only John Elway was still there. I can't see Will Levis in an NFL jersey. He needs to go to Taiwan. Okay. The Taiwanese Football League. Go Taiwan Tigers. Texans should draft Sean Tucker at number 2. That would imply he doesn't go at number 1, though. Which, I mean, if Carolina's smart, if they pick Sean Tucker, they'd be pleased with it over the next 10 years. Put it that way. But this looks like the bully on a Disney Channel show. I can kind of see it. But the weird bully who puts mayo in his coffee and eats bananas, like the whole peel and everything. Bryce Behringer got hurt. I didn't even see that. You don't see punters get hurt too often, kids, but apparently it is possible. Sean Tucker sadly can't go in the first round, but what if someone picks him in the first round just because? As a Panthers and Giants fan, I want the Panthers to draft Pat McGroin. Any relations to Matt McGloin by chance? He's going to be round 2, pick 34, and he'll be very pleased. Oh, I thought the Texans had 34 for a second, but they had 33. Who is 34? I think the Cardinals do. I mean, they do need a running back. Just saying. Sean Tucker, pick 34. Make it happen. Being in the Titans Stadium over spring break makes me really want to go to a football game. I don't blame you. I imagine that stadium would be pretty cool. Although, isn't it like... Aren't they making a new stadium for the Titans? It still seems like a cool stadium, but... Yeah, Sean Tucker literally would start for Arizona, probably. Maybe not right away, but I would guess pretty soon. I mean, James Conner's like fine, but if you're drafting a running back at 34, he's going to start. Quiddy Pay, roughing the passer. Can't really do that. But I don't want to be a Panthers fan anymore since they traded DJ Moore. But if whoever they drafted 1, cough Sean Tucker, ends up being really good, then it's probably going to be worth it. Sean Tucker to Tampa Bay. I mean, I guess he'd kind of be a good compliment for Rachaad White. Rachaad White's a pretty good receiver, I think. And Sean Tucker's more of your... Not so much bell cow, but your early down back. Yeah, the Bills are getting a new stadium, as are the Titans. I feel like someone else is too. But that might have just been the Titans from like last month. So I think it might be just for those two. Be like a Bears fan. He doesn't want to torture himself, does he? We need the injuries make it like challenging though. That's like the whole point. I wish there were more injuries in like the sim games. I kind of want it to be like consistent with those, just so it's not a disadvantage to have the user game. But on the other side, I think having a lot of injuries makes things interesting. It adds to the challenge. If there were no injuries, then there's no reason to draft for depth. I'd rather have DJ Moore and Will Levis instead of Adam Thielen and Bryce Young. Well, here's the thing. I don't think Will Levis is making it to 9. I don't know if any of the quarterbacks are making it to 9. If one of the quarterbacks does make it to 9 at this point, I don't think it would be Levis. Which is, I mean, as crazy as that sounds. Gonzo in New England would be nasty. If he's on the board, they're running that pick up. I think one of the other 2 corners behind him would be a great pick, Banks or Joey Porter. So they have Gonzo at 14. I think it's more likely Gonzo goes 4. Maybe not to the Colts, more so with a trade, but I could see somebody picking him earlier than people think. Like, I think if not for Detroit, because I think we like Witherspoon more, if I were to guess. But if not for us, I would be very confident that Gonzo would be the first corner off the board. But I'm not confident about it because there's a good chance all the corners make it to 6. And if we do pick a corner, I think it'd be Witherspoon, which I'd be fine with. I would prefer Gonzo, but I'm good with either one of them. Like, if one of Will Anderson or Tyree Wilson is to pick at 2, and the Cardinals don't like the other one who's at 3, and they don't trade back, it could be Christian Gonzalez, as crazy as that sounds. As it has been all Texans here in the first quarter. They lead 7-0. They're in the red zone. Lamar and Sean Tucker are in the zone. If Witherspoon falls, if you're the Ravens, do you trade up? I mean, I'd certainly try to. Which, if he gets past 6, it's certainly possible. I don't want to say it feels like a lock, but it does feel kind of likely. Other than Bryce Young, at least before the Will Levis news today, the best odds on any pick was Devin Witherspoon to the Lions at 6. So it feels like it's going to happen, which I'm okay with. Nice touchdown by Christian Watson. That's not a pick where I'm going to be like ecstatic like a Penei Sewell where I was going crazy for 3 minutes, but I'd be good with it. That's like a solid B pick. To me, it doesn't seem crazy for Gonzo to go 3. I haven't made my final list yet, but I don't think Gonzo is going to be lower than like 5 or 6. I kind of have an idea what I'm going to do with the top like 3 or 4, but other than that, like, other than in some order, Bijan, Anderson, Carter, and maybe Bryce Young, I'm not sure if there's anybody who I would confidently have ahead of Gonzo. So maybe he ends up at like 5. Joey Porter to the Buccaneers is actually the most locked in. Well, that would imply he gets by Pittsburgh, which, I don't know. Top 5 is Anderson, Bijan, Gonzo, Bryce, and Paris. I can't really argue with that. And I have no idea where I'm going to put Jalen Carter because like the character stuff is not ideal, but depending on the situation, I think he can be fine. If not for the character stuff, he might be 1 for me. But with it, I don't know. I don't know if he falls past 3 because he's just too good. But like, he's probably like the last of like the true blue chippers just because of that fumble. But the Titans get it back. Derrick Henry coughed it up. I actually own Pittsburgh, so I'm not going to take him. Okay, there you go. So maybe he will make it to the Bucs. If this game goes to a simcast after by half, what does that mean? If this game is a simcast going into the second half, we can simcast your game. I'll agree to that. Bijan to Washington's an interesting scenario. They did just draft Brian Robinson in the second round, which on one hand it's like, why would you use a second rounder on a running back just to pick one in the first round when you're the worst team in the division? Holy cow, what a punt. But on the other hand, is Brian Robinson really going to stop you from picking Bijan if he's there, which I would say it's 50-50. There's a few teams beforehand who could pick him. Atlanta, Chicago, Philly. Anybody else? Maybe Houston? I don't think that's likely, but I don't know if I'd rule it out. I also wouldn't rule out New England, although I wouldn't make that pick if I was them. Ramondre's good. I don't know if I'd rule out Green Bay either, but that one doesn't feel likely either. So, I feel like Washington has bigger things they need to do, but if they picked Bijan, I wouldn't, like, laugh hysterically, put it that way. But it's like, why draft Brian Robinson in the second round with a top 50 pick last year? Titans force the punt. Good defense. I see the Cowboys trading up for Bijan. That's certainly possible. Tony Pollard's really good, but he's on the franchise tag. He's coming off a big injury. I don't think Dallas is going to pay him because they paid Zeke. It backfired. So, like, I don't think they want to pay another running back, especially considering you're paying Dak big money, you're paying the offensive line a lot of money. You're going to have to pay Michael Parsons a QB deal, and Trayvon Diggs you're going to have to pay too. How high is Nolan Smith going? I've said this in the mock draft videos. Wherever you think Nolan Smith is going, he's going to go before that. I've seen as high as 8 with Atlanta. I don't see him getting past like 15. I don't know if I would personally pick him that high, but I think someone will. I think teams are going to like the upside mixed with the character. So he's going to go early. I think he's going number 1. I've been saying I think Arizona is a good fit for him. I think he can be Jonathan Gannon, Hassan Reddick. Now, the Cardinals aren't going to pick him at 3. That'd be pretty stupid. But if they move down, like let's say like the Titans trade up for a quarterback, or maybe even the Raiders, then I can get behind it a little bit. I don't know about at 7. That feels early. But like 11, I can deal with that. Maybe what about Houston? I don't think that's likely, but what if Houston moved up from 12 to 3? They get a quarterback and they get one of the great defenders. I don't think that's likely, but that is an interesting scenario. And that way, Arizona moves down to 12. You can get Nolan Smith if he's there. Houston shocks everyone and picks him at 2. You know, D'Amico would like him. And Nolan Smith at 12 does make a lot of sense. Houston is continuing to try to get high character guys in the building. And, well, that's Nolan Smith in a nutshell. I don't know if he's like a great natural fit for our defense, though, because we already have James Houston, who I feel like would kind of play that role. So if we picked him, even at 18, I don't think I'd really like it. And at 6, I think that'd be a terrible pick. Even though I think he'd fit the culture well. But, like, James Houston already kind of plays that role. As, like, the undersized pass rusher who isn't going to play with his hand in the dirt. Nice stop by the Titans again. We do have the ammo to trade up for one of those guys. If we do trade up, I would hope it would be for Anthony Richardson. But if we move up to like 3 for Will Anderson and don't give up another 1, I can't say I'd be upset. Will Anderson on our defense would be pretty awesome. So I wouldn't entirely agree with it, but I'd still be pretty excited. But if we move up from 6 to 3, maybe we'd have to give up another 1, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we can get away with like one of our 2s and then like another day 2 pick or something. If the guy Arizona wants is gone, which would imply Houston doesn't pick Will Levis. Or maybe Houston does pick Will Levis. Arizona had a trade lined up at 3 with a team who wanted him, but now they can't. So then they kind of have to panic and do something with us. That could always happen. I don't know. Will Anderson and Hutch, where have I seen that before? I would do some things to have those guys together in real life, put it that way. Justin Herbert's been kind of mid today. 3 for 8. 27 yards. Not great. Can't wait for some team like Buffalo to trade up for Bijan. I don't want them to take Bijan. I want James Cook to be the guy. I don't think Buffalo should pick a running back early. I think on my last mock I had them pick like Dwayne McBride in the 3rd round because he's more of like an early down guy, and then James Cook is your receiver. Like that I'd be okay with. But I don't want Buffalo picking a running back early because, yeah, they got smothered in the trenches against the Bengals on both sides of the ball. So I feel like there's a few guys they'd really like. I think Darnell Wright would make a lot of sense. I don't think he falls to 27, though. I'm not a Brian Brzee fan, but I could get behind it a little bit in the late 1st round to a team like Buffalo. They could look at a Maisie Smith. They could look at a Kalijah Cansey, and there's plenty of other good linemen there. Sean Tucker would be another guy who like would be a good fit in Buffalo as like an early down runner because he doesn't take away from James Cook, who played pretty well down the stretch last year. Speaking of Sean Tucker, gets him out of safety range. If Bijan is there for Baltimore, you got to think about it at the bare minimum. J.K. Dobbins is on the last year of his deal. He hasn't really shown an ability to stay healthy. And even when he is healthy, I mean, he's good, but he's not Bijan. So you got to at least consider it. Oh, dear, it's intercepted. By Jonas Griffith? Is that his name? I don't even know. I think his name is Jonas or Jonah or something. What's a realistic trade for Henry to be an Eagle? I think it would be a 3 and something else small. I think that'd be fair. I think Derrick Henry, even though he's an older running back who's on a big deal, all of that would make you think he doesn't have value, but it's Derrick Henry. He's got to have trade value. Maybe I'm overselling it a little bit, but, like, there's no way the Titans are giving him up for free. Derrick Henry was still one of the best running backs in the league last year on a one-dimensional offense with a horrible offensive line. So imagine what he can do with guys like Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson blocking for him. He would be nuts in Philly. Sean Tucker to Cleveland. I guess so. I mean, I feel like he's kind of redundant with Nick Chubb in a sense. But I guess in terms of like having a backup who's similar to Nick Chubb, I guess you could make it work in like the 4th round or something. Derrick Henry's easily still top 5. I had him at 2. I think. 2 or 3. I think it might have been 2. But I can't rank him lower than 3. Dearness Johnson's cool too. Yeah, don't forget about him. And then the dude from UCLA, Demetric Felton, is like your receiving, maybe not your receiving back, but like your fringe hybrid playmaker. So maybe they could use another pass catcher, which isn't really Sean Tucker's game. Oh, you don't have Dearness Johnson anymore. Okay, well, Sean Tucker would be kind of a good replacement for Dearness Johnson then. In like the 4th round, Sean Tucker, that could work. Baltimore loves having multiple good running backs, and they don't really have one. So, yeah, that could work. I mean, there's a lot of teams who would work for Sean Tucker. There aren't many teams who I would rule out for him. Yeah, you had him at 3, and I had him at 2. That sounds about right. Chubb, CMC, and Henry. Yes, those are the top 3. I don't think anyone can disagree. Chiefs, Sean Tucker. Yeah, that could work. Because him and Pacheco aren't really redundant. They would complement each other well. Although you're not getting any value for Clyde. But that could work. And then we get to see Sean Tucker in January making plays. So I actually would kind of like to see that. Why is Romeo not getting any reps? That is a good question, EA. Tucker in Jacksonville. Yes. Although they kind of like put James Robinson in the doghouse. I don't really want them to do that with Sean. But like he would be a good complement with Travis Etienne. I almost feel like the Jaguars view Etienne as like an every down runner though. Which I think he is good enough to do. But like you also don't want to tread the tires too quickly with him. Especially considering he had the injury as a rookie. But those two would be a good duo. Don't think we have the running back signed through next year. Well, I would assume you're going to pick one. And it is a fun running back class. I really like Israel Banakanda for the Ravens because you don't have to play him early on. But he's got upside, and he's like maybe the youngest player in the entire draft. Titans trade Henry, drafts Sean Tucker. There's a part of me that like that, but like not so much. He would play a lot, but that offensive line is dog water. So who's going to trade for Saquon? The real question is, does Saquon fetch any value? Would he have more value than Henry? Because he is younger, but he's also shown more injuries and has shown more signs of regression. Not so much last year. I would rather trade a 3 for Henry than Saquon, to be honest. Henry's locked up. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because he's making a lot of money, but you also don't have to worry about paying him immediately. So you're going to have him for like 3 years, and then you can let him go because at that point, Henry's going to be in his 30s. Or no, I think Henry only has 1 year, now that I think about it. Because we franchise tagged him after the 2nd year of the Titan series. So I think he does only have 1 year. I would probably still rather 1 year of Derrick Henry than 1 year of Saquon. Best running back in the league is Chase Edmonds. He's been on like 5 teams in the last year or so, it feels like. I thought he was going to be good in Miami too, and it just never clicked there. Which, by the way, Miami, Sean Tucker, that kind of makes sense. Henry has 3 years. Then why did I have to pay him after year 2 of the Titan series? Because I know he just got paid. So 3 years seems right. But why did we have to pay him? Oh, well. Sean Tucker to San Fran. Okay, I like the principle, but here's the problem. Kyle Shanahan. I don't want him messing up my Sean Tucker touches, okay? So while, like, he'd be a good fit, knowing Sean Tucker, or knowing Kyle Shanahan, he's going to find some random undrafted guy and put him ahead of Sean Tucker right away. That's just the nature of the Kyle Shanahan offense, where these good players don't consistently get the ball early. Brandon Ayuk was in the doghouse for a little bit. They drafted all these day 2 running backs like Trey Sermon and Ty Davis-Price, which have been complete wastes. Yeah, like Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert are cool, but like you can get somebody else. If Jahmyr Gibbs is there in the 2nd round, which I don't think he would be, but if he was, will it break the game if you make Romeo edge and Draymond Jones defensive tackle 2? I mean, if you... Wait, I'm using the Titans, so I literally can't. Yeah, I don't think I could even if I wanted to. Because I can't, like, switch the team I'm using in-game, which is stupid. I don't know why that is. But the only way to do that is to have the other controller controlling the other team, which I can only do for jerseys, because if I do, then I can't, like, super sim. Madden's weird with that. What about Sean Tucker to Cincy? Yeah. Cincy's going to be a major running back spot. Even if Joe Mixon is going to be back, they did lose Samaje Perine, who was pretty good for them last year. So they need another guy. And Joe Mixon's a question mark as is. So I could see them double dipping and picking like 2 running backs within the first like 4 rounds or something. So that would work. And he would probably play a lot. And he'd be on a good team. So I'd be on board for that. How many teams would not pick him? Is there anybody who we can confidently say won't pick him? Probably the Jets. Because they have Brees and Michael Carter. So they don't need a starter or a complement. So yeah. Now that I say that, Sean Tucker is going to be a Jet. But is there any other team who we can like confidently say wouldn't pick a running back like at all? Because there aren't many. I mean, how many teams... I guess now that I think about it, a lot of teams have 2 good running backs. But like, I was going to say Minnesota. But who knows if Dalvin Cook's going to be on the team next week. Which, if he isn't, Alexander Madison's finally going to get his opportunity to shine. Which, he's going to surprise some people if he gets that chance. The Steelers, yeah, I guess so. They don't have anything great behind Najee, but like Sean Tucker would be a little bit redundant. So the Steelers probably wouldn't pick him. Green Bay, I could kind of see maybe, because A.J. Dillon's on the last year of his deal, and Aaron Jones could be like a cap casualty. And even so, his contract isn't going to be forever. So I could see Green Bay maybe not doing it early, but if he's still there in like the 4th or 5th round, which is possible, then I could see them doing it, which would kill me. I would hate that. But it's possible. I'm working on a mock. It's that one. It's what one? It's that one? Is this the thing that we talked about? Atlanta probably wouldn't. Yeah, Tyler Algier is a little bit redundant. Although they might pick Bijan at 8. But yeah, I don't think they'd make a lot of sense for Sean Tucker. I think if they did pick a running back later, it'd be more of a pass catcher. So, yeah, Atlanta probably wouldn't. It's our one. Okay. That would make sense. They restructured Aaron Jones. Okay, but even so, A.J. Dillon's on the last year of his deal. I don't see any reason why they have to pay him. And his skill set isn't that far off from A.J. Dillon. So, again, while it's not likely, and I don't think they do it early, if he slipped a little bit into, like, round 5, which is possible, then it could make sense. Again, as much as I hate to say it, Steelers could have someone who isn't blind running through gaps. That is technically true. Yeah, the Falcons could get their long-term Cordell replacement, and Sean Tucker is not Cordell. He's a lot closer to Tyler Algier. Texans are moving it well. Lamar's having himself a nice day. Yeah, Patterson, he played really well out of the backfield in 2021. But at this point, Tyler Allgeier's the guy there. Unless they draft Bijan, Allgeier's the guy. I hope they don't draft Bijan because I think, even though I feel like there's been a lot of day 3 running backs who have been had good flashes in the pan and then just don't really turn into anything, I think Tyler Allgeier actually could be quite good. So I hope they don't draft Bijan. I want Allgeier to get his shot. But with Arthur Smith there, and in his offense, nice touchdown. What a catch by Marquez Valdes-Scantling. It's his weekly watch game touchdown. But, as I was trying to say, Arthur Smith's offense is certainly enhanced by having an elite running back, cough Derrick Henry. So that would be the rationale of them picking Bijan. But I really want to see Tyler Allgeier develop and become good. Because I think he can be quite good. One of the top corners falling outside the top 10, and a surprise edge goes top. Is it Keon White to Green Bay? I hope so. Who else would be a surprise edge? Nolan Smith isn't a surprise. Oh, I bet I know what you did. Where did you put BJ? Where did you put BJ? Now the Texans want to move. Yeah, we can't do your deal because it's well too late. We're almost on the third quarter. I can already tell the main storyline is going to be Green Bay really wanting to pick JSN. Green Bay really wanting to pick a receiver in the first round in this economy? Huh? But New England will pick Snipe him at 14. Please. I do not want that man in Green Bay. I'm fine with any other pass catcher to the Packers at 15. Just please not him. TCU Edge might slot. Who? TCU Edge? Who? I know there's a TCU Edge on day 3 whose name I'm forgetting. But I don't think he's going day 1. Lucas Van Ness is projected to go in the top 15. He's definitely not a surprise. It's not BJ. Okay. Who else would it be? Who would we consider not a surprise? Will McDonald could be a surprise top 15 pick. That would work. I don't think he'd go in the top 15, so it's a surprise. Yeah, that's a good guess. That would make a lot of sense. You mean the Northwest? Yeah, I cannot speak. Adetobuare, or Adeboare. I still have not figured out his name. Adetomiya Adeboare. I think that's how you say it. I should know how to say it because he's one of my favorite players in the draft. I really like him. Whoa, what a catch! Who is that? The Titans have, not many receivers. It's Rashee Rice with the touchdown. Yeah, Adeboare could be a first-round pick, for sure. I've had him go in the first round multiple times. Northwestern and TCU are both purple, so I can see how that could be easily mixed up. But Adeboare has got a shot to be good. Could see him go in the top 15, but most project him late first, early second. Most people project... Oh, you mean the guy you're talking about? That sounds like Will McDonald. Late first, early second. Who else could it be? Nduke Uzoma? I can't see him going in the top 15. Will McDonald, I could see it. I don't think it's likely. But I've seen crazier. Miles Murphy? Would that be a surprise? I'd be a little bit surprised if Miles Murphy went in the top 15, but I'd be more surprised if Will McDonald went that high than Murphy. Styrick Stevenson would be a good pick at 22. He's going to go higher than people think. I have rarely seen him in the first round, but like he's going to be one of those guys when you read those things like 2 days before the draft of possible surprising first rounders. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be on the list. I'm very confident in that. And he's going to like actually be a first rounder. Because sometimes there are guys who like don't go close to a first round. Like last year, I think Nick Petit-Frere was on the list, which didn't really make sense, and he ended up going in like the third round. So yeah, I feel like Murphy's stock has kind of gone back up a little bit. It was up, then down, and then I could see it happening. Him in the top 15. He seems like a Green Bay Packer, which I don't think he'll go in the top 15. But put it this way, it wouldn't entirely shock me. I've seen crazier, but I wouldn't guess that happens. But at this point, I definitely don't think he makes it out of day one, which I've said he could before. Now I don't. Someone's guessed it. Probably the guy who was just mentioned. I'm going to assume. Not quite a spoiler, but it's pretty close. But yeah, I would say Miles Murphy in top 15 is like kind of bold, but like I could see it. What's the ceiling for him? Like 12? I don't think I could see him go before that. I mean, maybe Chicago, maybe Philly, but like no, that's too high. I think the earliest would be like 12. I'm just saying someone said so. Someone could have said it a while ago. Like a Dable. I can't see a Dable Warren in the top 15. As much as I like him, I think that's too early. Darnell Wright at 9. That would not like entirely shock me. As I said with Nolan Smith, Darnell Wright's going to go earlier than people expect. Whatever his projected draft stock is, bet the under. He's going early. If he's the top offensive lineman off the board, I would not be that surprised. Should he? Probably not, but I could see it. Miles Murphy at 18 Detroit. That seems like a reasonable landing spot. I wouldn't hate that pick, but I can't say I'd love it. That's like another like B minus pick. Like I'd be okay with it. F the Stros. We all hate the Stros. Sean Murphy's been balling this year. Poor A's. And they got what for him? Like nothing? They could have gotten William Contreras, but they're like, no, you can just send him off elsewhere. We'll take worse scraps. I don't know if the Steelers have to move up for a tackle, because there's a lot of them. Like, Broderick Jones at 17 is cool. That's fine. I assume Paris won't make it there, or Skoronski. And honestly, I don't think Darnell Wright does either. But, like, Broderick Jones is fine. Who's realistic at 22? A lot of people. Once you get past, like, 10, you can make a whole list on who's realistic for each pick. It obviously depends on how the board plays out, assuming there's no ridiculous value. Obviously, wide receiver, corner, maybe D-line. Steelers picking Joey Porter Jr. I've seen the script. I could absolutely see that. The Steelers have a lot of options. As Sean Tucker gets his score, Sean Tucker is pleased to get the touchdown. Deonte Banks is the guy who I would want if I was Baltimore too, but I don't know if he lasts. If he does last, run the card up and forget about it. But I think there's more than a 0% chance he's on the board at 22, but I don't think it's a high chance. But I see a world where that happens. Maybe a guy like Stevenson or Emmanuel Forbes gets picked a lot earlier than people think, and he slips. Yeah, 14. If the Patriots pick Banks at 14, I think that'd be a good pick. I think Bill Belichick would love him. And if not 14, 15 could work. So could 16, or 17, or 18, or 19. Maybe not 20 as much, but yeah, there's so many teams who could use a corner. And, well, lucky for us, there's a pretty big corner class. That should be a DPI. That's a bad no call. I know Bill personally. I know who the Pats want. I was saying it, I think, in the last mock draft. New England's pick is like one of the most interesting ones in the entire draft for me because there's like so many spots they could go. All of their big needs are like the strengths of this draft. Like they could use an edge, they could use a tackle, they could use a corner. All of those are strong positions in the middle of the first round. And then a wide receiver, there might not be any receivers taken yet. So like Jackson Smith-Njigba or even Zay Flowers would be great. I don't know about Zay Flowers at 14. I mean, I wouldn't have a major problem with it. Will we still eventually do the throwback series this Madden? Like, this Madden cycle? Probably not this one. Maybe 24. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Final play of the game. Not that it really matters, and it's picked off. This is actually going to be a pretty big return, too. Who got the turnover? I don't know. But the Texans win 28-13. Yeah, realistically, New England could go BPA. Pat's taking Jaron Hall. Zay Flowers to the Chargers would make a lot of sense. Cam Curl, Viking legend. He was so good for us last year. Lamar played well. Herbert he had that sick touchdown to Rashee Rice, but other than that, he wasn't bad. Sean Tucker finally played well in a watch game. We've been waiting for it. He almost doubled Derrick Henry's yards per carry. That's something. Kenny Gainwell led the Titans in rushing yards today. Yeah, that was Cameron Curl. And then Jonas Griffith, that is his name. I was right. If you win, you take the division. It's week 7. I don't think anyone's taken that division in week 7. The only division race that feels like it's over is our division. Because nobody else is good. I thought our division was going to be tough, but those 3 teams have not been good 2 years in a row for the most part. All right, let's see what happened. Oh, we're using Titans, so we get to go up right away after the Vikings, who beat the Niners. Not a great stream for San Fran. They go 0-2. Wow, Minnesota had 28 in the second half. Tua played very well. He hasn't even been bad this year yet. Naruto really wants to trade him. The AFC West is really close. Other than the Snowhawks, anybody could win that division. Texans clinch the South. I don't think that's how it works, bud. How many sacks was that? 3. Oh, I thought that said 6 for a second. I was like, what the hell? If he allowed 6 sacks, there's some issues here. 52! Hello, offense! Okay. We didn't even have that many yards. I mean, 387 is kind of a lot, but for 52 points... And the biggest takeaway I have, not even that Matt Corral balled out, is that we finally forced a turnover. It took us 7 weeks. And we finally did it. We've got a turnover. It took us 7 whole weeks. J-Mo scored twice. I hope he had the over on touchdowns. Who got the turnovers? Who did it? Jalen Petrie and Trent McDuffie. And I assume no fumbles? Oh, we had 3 turnovers. Chase Young forced and recovered a fumble. We had 3 turnovers today after not having any all year. The Bills beat the Nighthawks. That is expected. I would hope they would beat the Nighthawks. Go over Eagles stats. Are we doing team stats today? I guess we can. Von Miller, 4 sacks. That's a lot. The Bills are now 7-0. Neither quarterback threw for more than 200 yards. Ew. Jamal Williams played well, though. Lance and Jones have themselves a good old-fashioned mid-off. The Chargers lose to Baltimore 28-21. So the Chargers went 2-0 last time, and this time they go 0-2. Aaron Rodgers was not great. Justin Fields was efficient. Stephon Diggs, hello, even though his team lost. The Colts have lost 4 in a row. Ouch. This time they lose to the Steelers. Well, everybody in our division's winning now. I mean, you still have a comfortable lead, so it's fine. Kirk Cousins was not great at all. Was it a primetime game? Yes, it was. That's so predictable. Why would they put this game on primetime? This is just such like a random game. But I guess it was Monday night, so I guess that makes some sense. The Commies are back after starting off 0-3. They've won 3 of their last 4, including beating Dallas 42-7. Ouch. Mac Jones was really good. Joe Burrow was really bad. Is Dallas not as good as we thought, or is this just a fluke? Cougars had a bye week. Dallas got smothered. The Desperados finally won. They beat the Dreadnoughts 42-21. Both of these teams could be contending for wild card spots, but I don't know. I mean, it's week 7. They absolutely could get by the Golden Eagles, but Mexico looks like far and away the best team in that division right now. As they beat the Explorers in overtime. Stetson Bennett, 4 touchdowns, played very well. Mercy Mercado was not bad either. Who's up for VC after the stream? I have some editing to do, but if you guys are in there after like a little while, I'll hop in. We saw that game. We saw that one just now. The Jets lose to the Oilers. At least the Jets are playing competitively. I'll give them that. Drake May's had 2 back-to-back good games. Good for him. Lost both of them, but competitive. Lions at a bye week. Monarchs lose to New England. Yes, my draft pick gets better and better. Nighthawks lost. Oilers, wow, they've won 3 in a row. Orbit to the bye. Panthers are 0-7. They are not good. Who was the other winless team? Was it Portland? And Portland lost, I think. Yeah, they lost to Denver. You know who's first I have? Who's first do you have? Did one of these 0-7 teams trade their pick away? Of course they would. Rams had a bye. Ravens won. Seattle won. They are now 6-1. They have not lost a sim game. Yeah, Portland's 0-6, not 0-7, but they haven't won. Frank Jones had 1.5 sacks. What? Against not Quentin Nelson? I think we've gone through everybody now. Yeah. All right. If your team didn't go undefeated today, you're a nerd. Players of the week: Stetson Bennett, Matt Corral, Jordan Poyer, and Von Miller. The Matt Corral agenda is pleased. We have a lot of teams with only 1 losses. The league hasn't been as balanced. There's a lot of really good teams and a lot of really bad teams, including the Bengals, who still have a comfortable lead in the North. It looks like we're really good again, as are the Texans, coming off a nice win against a tough Tennessee team, although there are 3 good teams in this division. The Bills lead the East. New England is quite good, though, too. And then the AFC West is going to be a dogfight with these three all within one game. Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers. Lions have a game ahead of Minnesota in the North. In the South, Golden Eagles are 2 ahead of the Desperados. Oh, the Dreadnoughts are 2-5. I thought they were a little better. I knew they were under 500. The Eagles have a game ahead of Dallas after they got clobbered by the Commanders, who are playing well again. And, okay, along with our division, maybe this division race won't be too close either. If the Rams don't get their act together, which I guess they have won 2 in a row, but if they don't get their act together, Seattle might be able to win this division pretty early. So we still have 1 undefeated team, and we still have 2 winless teams. So it seems like people want team stats. I've already said the Eagles and the Raiders. Can I do all standings? Yeah, let's take a look at the draft order. And everybody, you can put your teams in the chat, and we can do team stats. Why would the Snowhawks be lower than the Panthers? Panthers have an extra loss. I mean, it doesn't matter, but... And we can do injuries real quick while everybody's putting their stuff in the chat. Let's see if we have any new major injuries. Nothing for us. That's good. Taylor Lewan got hurt. So now he won't play. Because he's injured. Oh my. Whoa. Okay. Penei Sewell's only out for 1 week. This is new. Not J.K. Dobbins. Devin Bush. Oh wait, no, that's not new because he's on IR. I feel like this isn't new. I feel like this already happened. Right? Hasn't J.K. Dobbins been injured? I don't remember. Whatever. No! Sam Laporta! No! Put Dobbins on IR. I don't think I can do that not using Dallas, right? Oh, I can. Oh. Okay. I thought I had to use Dallas for that. JT Tuiamolau is out for a week. Bryce Hall's out for 3. Kirby Joseph broke his collarbone. Rip. And Cole Strange is hurt. Anton Harrison tore his rotator cuff. Did that happen already? I feel like it did. Miles Sanders tore his labrum. Deron Payne, what happened to him? Pulled groin. He'll be out for 3. All right, let's take a look at team stats. The Eagles were the first ones a while back. A while as in like 5 minutes ago. So we'll start with them. Bryce Young's having himself a year. Whoa, look at those numbers. And he has the team success to back it up. We haven't watched the Eagles this year, have we? We should probably do that. Because this team's like kind of good. Actually, they're really good. Next up, we've got the Nighthawks. Who have not been quite as good as their bird counterpart, the Eagles. Dallas, how about them Cowboys? 11 interceptions for Joe Burrow. That's not going to cut it. The trade deadline, I usually have at week 10. Since we had the 1 week stream for week 1, we're kind of out of order. So we can do it after week 11 this year. So that's 2 more streams, then trade deadline, and then boom. After Dallas, we've got the Bills. 5 interceptions. That's wild. That's 4 more than Trevor Lawrence has thrown all year. He is also having an MVP-type season, T-Law. He's really cut back on the turnovers, which was the issue last year. Did I just see a 14? 14. And Myles Garrett might have more, too, which is the crazy part. How many does Myles Garrett have? He has 16. We've made it through 7 weeks. I feel like they've had a bye week, too. I might be wrong about that, but good Lord. He's gotten at least 3.5 sacks 3 times. Yeah, that's about as good of a number 1 pick as you can make. Those 2 guys are still MVP candidates. As long as they like kind of keep this up, Von Miller and Myles Garrett are both going to be MVP candidates. If you're playing that well, You're in the MVP race. I don't know if Myles Garrett had more than 16 sacks once for me all of last year in OFL 22. Yet here we are, a third of the way into the year, and he is 16. Is their sack leader of 1.5? Yikes. The Oregon's have 4 sacks. I get they had a bye week, but that's still bad. 4. Eek. That's almost as bad as our takeaways. Seattle. Patrick Mahomes is also an MVP candidate. He's been pretty good. Next up on my list is Houston. Little Jai, you were the last one to send it, so I'm just doing it in order of how I see it. So, I don't know what to tell you. Did that say Sean Tucker's 9 touchdowns? Nice. After the Texans, we've got the Memphis Steamers. You sent yours before y'all's. No, you didn't. Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, my goodness. You did send yours first. I didn't see it. That's my bad. Okay. I saw the Nighthawks one at the beginning. I also missed the Bills and the Seahawks at the beginning. Okay, that's my bad. All right, now we can go back to Memphis. YouTube's fault. Yeah, blame YouTube. I didn't see it either. Maybe YouTube hit it. I don't know. After the Steamers, we've got the Monarchs, the Golden Eagles. Did I miss anybody other than Monarchs, Golden Eagles, and obviously us? Did I miss anybody? Going once, going twice? Actually, you got like a minute, so you have time. Monty is 10. Hopefully he can do that in real life, unless we draft Sean Tucker. Then Sean Tucker's going to have all the touchdowns. Next, we got the Geagles. Is that just their new name, the Geagles? Is that what we're rolling with? The awards obviously aren't up yet because we're still in week 7. I want to see if they're going to have Garrett and Von Miller on the list for MVP. They better. Can I see my picks? You have a 4 and a 7 this year. I can go through everybody's picks real quick if you want. I think there was one thing that I needed to fix before week 1. I forget who it was. So it wasn't fixed. So if somebody notices that there might be one thing with their picks, that would be why. I don't remember who it was, though. It might have been Kevin. But I could be wrong. But yeah, we can do that real quick. Does that say Chase Young has 9 sacks? Good for him. Not quite Von Miller or Myles Garrett, but I'll take that. I'm not pleased with my team. Wow, so I guess you're not Sean Tucker. All right, here's everybody's picks. Just so you can get an update. So you should probably use this instead of the latest roster video. Cough the games, cough. Yeah, where are we standing? Okay. Well, we got a lot of day 3 picks. And I have 3. I forgot I had 3 ones next year. That's right. Did we do Texans? We started on the Titans, so that'll mean the Texans are going to be last. The Bills like hoard 6th and 7th rounders. They hate mid-round picks, but they get firsts and they get super late ones. Oh, did we do the Texans for team stats? I don't think we did. But once we get through picks, I can do that. Well, the Niners have a lot. I mean, I would hope so if you're 2-5, but could be worse. You could be like the Jets, who have one pick, which isn't even their own, before the 6th round. Who has the Jets pick? I didn't even realize they traded that away. Would it be Detroit? No. Who would have had the Jets pick? The Orbits have a lot. They've been stacking them. The Raiders only had 3. That's less than they've had. Oh, the Rams don't have anything until the 5th round. The CD deal. But CD wasn't with the Jets. Oh. Unless the Jets traded their pick this year for Sauce. Which, did they? I thought they only gave up the 1 pick. They didn't give up 2 ones for Sauce. That'd be crazy. 2 high ones, to be specific. If it's 2 low ones, then I guess it's fine. Who has the Jets pick? And it would be someone towards the beginning. The Bills have their 5th. Okay, no. The Chargers do. Okay. But the... Oh, that might have been the deal for the Drake May pick. Okay, that makes sense. All right, now we can check the Texans' team stats. What team has the most total stat? Like team statistics? Oh, wait, no, we did the Texans, didn't we? Yeah, because I saw Sean Tucker had 9 touchdowns. Yeah, we did the Texans. Okay, never mind. If you want to see team lead, the Dreadnoughts lead in offense, and they're 2-5. I thought we did see the Texans. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We did. Ravens had the worst pass game. Shocker. Most is the Chargers. Least rushing is Portland. Again, shocker. Most is the Cougars. We lead in points by a lot. Holy cow. We lead in passing touchdowns, and we're 2nd in rushing. Who let us cook? Texans have the best defense. Jets have the worst. I mean, when your highest rated defensive player is Jordan Fuller, that'll happen. Niners have the worst pass defense. Jets have the worst run defense. The Bills are only 1 ahead of the Texans now. Houston's catching up. Most sacks is Golden Eagles. These teams have nowhere near the amount of sacks that Von Miller and Myles Garrett has. Myles Garrett has more sacks than half the league. That's insane. Best team on 3rd down is the Texans by a landslide, by 9%. That's a big difference. That's the difference between 2nd place and 21st place. Steelers are the worst, again by a landslide. 4th down, the worst is the Titans. The best is the Cougars. They're perfect. Red zone. The Eagles have the most efficient red zone offense by a healthy margin. They scored on every drive there in the red zone. And most of them are touchdowns. Least efficient is Memphis. You've got 3 teams lower than 50%, including the 4-2 Titans. Then defensively, the Bills have the best, and the worst is the Nighthawks. Penalties. Texans have the least. Most is the Vikings. And the turnover differential, the Broncos is the best. Dallas is the worst, along with San Francisco. Most giveaways is Dallas. The least is the Ravens. That's interesting. Least amount of takeaways is Columbus and the Titans with 2. We have 4? When did we get another fumble? So did we have a turnover the whole time and I didn't realize it? Huh, okay. The Desperados have the most with 11. And that's it for team stats. Let's take a look at weeks 8 and 9, which will be... I don't know. But it will be probably early to mid this week, most likely. All right, let's see what we got here. This is an interesting game. That's not horrible. That's not horrible. The Battle of Maryland. That's not bad. That's a good game. Let's watch this. That's not bad. I know the Dreadnoughts are 2-5. I can't do the yearly awards because they're not out yet. This isn't bad. Neither is this. And then week 9. Yes. Yes. This. Yes. Yes. This is the choice for week 9. We have not watched the Eagles yet, and the Bengals are quite good. Let's see if there are any other alternatives. I don't mind this. I want to watch the Chargers at some point. They have a fun team. This is a good game. You don't want to watch the Cowboys lose to Carolina. This is a pretty good game. AFC Championship rematch. This is good. Wild card rematch. Okay. Yeah, I feel like our game's the best, but there are some decent ones for week 9 if ours somehow doesn't win, which it better. Get it right, guys. You want league leaders. We can do league leaders, and then we'll be all done. Matt Corral, the passing touchdown leader, and his passer rating is actually good this year. He is in first. Is Matt Corral the MVP of the league right now? I would probably vote for Myles Garrett, but like of the quarterbacks, he beats these guys in yards and touchdowns. He's pretty much there with interceptions. Matt Corral's been the best quarterback in the league. I don't think I'm being biased in saying that. Derrick Henry is averaging 9 yards a carry. And he also was terrible in the watch game. Oh my goodness, look at him. Yeah, we can do the Explorers team stats before we're done. Corral is not carried by wide receivers because Rashad Bateman has more yards than the other two. So like that doesn't even work. Matt Corral is just different. Yeah, Bateman's been our best receiver. That's how it started last year, and then the other two kind of caught up. So we'll see if that happens again. Dak, did I miss Dak? Was he higher? Hold on. Did I miss Dak? Oh. Normally, I'm used to backups being this high, not starters. So that's why I missed him. So Corral's second. Yeah, Dak's numbers are probably a little bit better. Slightly less yards and touchdowns. But yeah, the 4% in completion percentage is probably a bigger difference. But still, Corral might be the second best quarterback. Mike Oxmal leads the league in tackles. And he leads the league in solo tackles by a lot. Corey Foreman leads in TFLs. Yay. I'm surprised. I didn't realize he was going to be this good. But he is quite good. Fix my depth chart. Nelson. Who's Nelson? Who is Nelson? I don't know who Nelson is. You guys don't have Quentin Nelson, so it can't be him. He's on the Rams. There's yours truly. I probably had the most extra points made. Jordan Stout. Ravens QB legend. Nelson Aguilar. Okay. Yeah, I can fix that. Blame EA for constantly messing up the depth charts. We want the Explorers. We did injuries, yeah. This is the last thing. Right? We don't have to do anything else. We did injuries, we did standings, we did players of the week, we did schedule, we did picks, and we did team stats. All right, bang. That'll do it. I apologize for the technical issues we had earlier today with the first game. But good thing we were able to get it to work for the second half of the stream. So, yeah, that'll do it. Peace out.